I told Quaylen that I saw myself in Cheyenne when Cheyenne reacts like this.
My youngest daughter has picked up the same things that her mother has shown her by acting this way. For instance, taking her sandal off and throwing it at the kids. My little daughter will take her sandal off and throw it at her brother.
I can see Cheyenne, in my age, doing the same thing to her own kids.
Well, I'm talking about what happens when children are being bullied, not on the playground, not by their classmates, but at home, by their own mothers. Now, Ivana says that she's always threatening her kids and even admits to hitting them with her sandals, throwing things at them. Now, look, I'm one of those people that always likes to begin with the end in mind. Let me tell you the place I'm headed. The end in mind is those children have to be protected right now. You are abusing your children, and that has to stop. So that's the end. You know, I'm beginning with the end in mind. That's the end. That's where we're going. This has to stop. Okay, that's the good news for them and really for you. Now, I said we're going to break this into three categories: why, what, and how. Why? You lived this, right?
Yes.
You're that child.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It really hurts because that's how I was raised. Because I was raised by my stepdad and my mom. And my stepdad, I call him Dad because he was the only dad I know my whole life. And I still do have that respect for my dad, but at the back of my mind, I have that feelings like, why me? Why did he do that to me, not the other kids, you know?
And what did he do to you?
I got most of the spanking. I don't know why, but it's probably because I'm different. I was not the biological daughter, and I was not his. And plus, I'm the oldest in the family, so I get the worst of all the spanking for my other little sisters and brothers.
And he did more than spank you.
Yes.
What did he do?
Back home in Samoa, when you're raised in the island, like spanking and yelling, it's just normal to the people back home. They're not going to call the cops if they saw your neighbor hitting on the kids because that's how they raise kids there.
That is not an acceptable standard. I get that that's what happened to you. I get that children learn what they live. I get that. But I also get that you are an adult now and you are allowed to choose. You choose which part of the legacy you carry forward and which parts you don't. My dad was a severe alcoholic. That's what I grew up with. I choose not to do that. So I haven't had a drink in 40 years. I just choose not to go down that road. That's a choice. I made that choice when I got to adulthood. I made the choice and said, I'm not going to do that. You can make that choice. You may need help making that choice. You may need to learn alternative ways of doing it, but you have to understand it ultimately is your choice. You get that, right?
Yes.
You don't really break habits. That's a misnomer. You don't break habits. What you do is you replace one behavior or set of behaviors with a new behavior or set of behaviors that crowd that out. You know, if you just stop doing that and you don't put anything in its place, you'll go back to doing that. So we have to take that behavior out and put new behaviors in there. I do not want, intend, nor will I trivialize what happened to you. In fact, I don't trivialize it, I maximize it because I want you to understand you're doing the same thing right now. You've got to know that these children are saying, why me? Why am I getting hit? Why am I getting yelled at? Why am I getting all of this pain? And you have the power to change that. You have the intelligence, you have the heart, you have the instinct to know it's wrong. So that's the why. The what is the yelling, the screaming, the hitting, the abuse. That's easy. The question is, how do we change it?
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.